If you were a teen in the 2010s, then surely you remember the feel-good sitcom series Victorious. At a prestigious performing arts school, 16-year-old Tori Vega gets to prove herself and shine away from her sister Trina. Among the show's recurrent cast was Ariana Grande, who has since rocked the music world and the movie one alike. Today, talk of a Victorious reboot, down to air in 2022, has the show's cast discussing the endless possibilities, almost a decade after the show's ending. So what does Ariana Grande think about the reboot? Let's dive in. Back in 2010, Victorious was the Nickelodeon series that spoke to teens everywhere, especially those with artistic aspirations. Tori Vega, played by Victoria Justice, gets accepted into Hollywood Arts, a super cool school for talented teens. There, she starts becoming more self-confident as she feels less overshadowed by her older sister. The fun performances go hand in hand with the unusual and absurd challenges that Tori and her friends face daily. Her friends are musical prodigy Andre Harris, the socially awkward Robbie Shapiro, the frenemy girl Jade West.
Trina! Really high-quality television. Top-notch acting.
And the sweet but naive redhead Kat Valentine, who is played by none other than Ariana Grande.
Okay. If you don't know, you don't know.
Ariana started performing when she was just 8 years old in an ESPN broadcast of the Florida Panthers anthem. She loved the stage and stuck to it, doing roles like Snow White and appearing in Broadway musical 13 at age 15. It's because of this musical that she got the part of Kat in Victorious. Just like Ariana, Kat had musical aspirations. So it was no surprise when Ariana broke into the music industry and stole people's hearts. Back in 2011, her first single, Put Your Hearts Up, became extremely popular with the Victorious fan base, and because of this, Ariana's character Kat survived and made it into the series spin-off Sam and Cat. In 2013, Ariana released her first album, Yours Truly. Not only did it debut at #1, but soon Ariana was touring or recording with Justin Bieber, Iggy Azalea, and Jessie J. As of July 2021, Ariana is the 7th most followed Twitter account and the 2nd most followed artist on Spotify. So, when the Victorious cast started hinting at a series reboot, it's no surprise that fans were dying to find out Ariana's take on it. Well, the reboot comes after a very successful reboot of iCarly, a show also produced by Dan Schneider, also at Nickelodeon. Victorious has also seen an increase in popularity after the show was put on Netflix a few years ago. But why did the show end so abruptly in the first case? Some fans were actually upset that the spin-off series starring Ariana, Sam, and Kat was why Victorious ended. But this wasn't the reason. This was the reason.
Oh, stunt girl, I don't know how to fall off a chair and make it look real. And what if the...
Apparently, there was a huge feud between the show's lead co-stars, Victoria and Ariana. Fans speculated that Ariana's growth in popularity in the music scene led her to being less interested in the show. But back in 2013, Ariana tweeted that it wasn't her decision at all to cancel the show. She even pointed some of the blame towards Victoria Justice, who was going solo at the time. Victoria then denied it being her fault and said it was unfair for Ariana to pin this on her. This little dispute seemed pretty weird at the time, considering Nickelodeon never released an official reason for the show ending so suddenly. So, rumors of a beef between Ariana and Victoria continued for years, as fans speculated around the end of Victorious. But both stars dismissed the rumors in separate interviews.
All of that drama, whatever, all of that stuff it's so silly. I love Ariana, and she's killing it right now. And she's been so supportive of me and my music. And we text. It's really cool.
Victoria went on to explain that the size of this rumor was only because the media had been fanning the flames. She also said that it was frustrating to see people who love to pit women against each other. It's not just Ariana and Victoria that still keep in touch with each other after all these years. All of the cast are still friends. In fact, they recently held a 10th anniversary Zoom meeting. Well, maybe except for one person. Jeanette McCurdy, who played Sam in iCarly and in the Nickelodeon spin-off Sam and Cat, speaks of those days as something she wants to forget.
I feel so unfulfilled by the roles that I played and felt like it was just the most cheesy, embarrassing. I imagine there's a very different experience to be had with acting if you're proud of your role.
Now, Jeanette's focus is her one-woman show and podcast, Empty Inside. But Jeanette is not part of the Victorious reboot, as she was only Ariana's co-star in Sam and Cat. So the cast is super good friends and everyone seems up for a reunion, but has Nickelodeon confirmed the reboot? Well, not yet. What we have so far are the cast's reactions to a reboot. They're pretty enthusiastic though. and fans are beginning to think it's pretty real.
I've gotten together with the cast and we've all hung out, and I love them all dearly and so much. I mean, I would be down to do a little something. I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know what is going on with all of that.
Co-star Elizabeth Gillies has shared the same kind of excitement about the reboot. She even said that anyone who isn't down for the reboot simply sucks. Elizabeth also added that she would only be a part of the reboot if the show used the same sets and people. If it's done poorly, she wouldn't be interested in it. And if the enthusiasm of the cast is not enough, since the show's spike in popularity through Netflix, fans all over the world have been demanding a reboot.
Wizards of Waverly Place and Victorious reboot is not going to happen when the whole cast is literally down for a revival.
And the main message that fans, and us to be honest, are sending is that we need a proper ending to the show. Back in 2013, producers left all their fans shocked after ending the show without any warning. Not even the lead stars knew about the ending before filming its last episode. Because of this abrupt ending, the show didn't give any direction to how the characters could end, so a reboot seems like the only solution, right? And Victoria seems to confirm it's being talked about. However, just because there aren't any set plans doesn't mean she hasn't given some thought to where her character, Tori Vega, might be years later. With the iCarly reboot so popular, it's hard to believe that Nickelodeon is not considering doing the same with Victorious. But we still have one cast member to talk about. Ariana Grande, of course. Well, while Ariana might be technically down for a reunion, she doesn't have all good stories about her time with the show. First of all, in an interview she gave in 2014, Ariana talked about living with a character she didn't identify with. Apparently, it took Ariana a long time to separate herself from her character and show people how different she is from Kat. There's an even darker turn to this. Nickelodeon instructed Ariana how to behave with all her fans. She was coached on how to respond during interviews and avoid topics the producers didn't want to be discussed. So she really couldn't be herself in real life. Weird, isn't it? Ariana was also strictly instructed not to get pregnant. Oh, and she had to wake up at 5 a.m. or earlier almost every day and go to bed around midnight so that she could catch up with all her schoolwork. And do you know why Ariana has developed her signature high ponytail look? Because Dan Schneider made her dye her hair red every other week for 3 whole years, just because he didn't want his whole cast to be made of brunettes. By the end of the show, Ariana's hair was completely destroyed. She had to hide it behind a ponytail and extensions. In fact, she even had to sign the rights to her hair off to Nickelodeon at the start of the show. What? The silver lining? Her signature look, which inspires many women around the world today. But maybe the show's abrupt ending was good news for Ariana. She even addressed the people who commented on her wearing wigs. On top of all of this, there have been serious allegations about Dan Schneider's behavior, whose career at Nickelodeon ended suddenly a few years back after said allegations came to light. Many cast members like Jennifer McCurdy reacted to the Dan Schneider allegations.
Dan Schneider, I know you're watching my Vine. Do you like my Vine? Vine. Look what you've done to me.
Ariana hasn't spoken publicly about Dan Schneider yet, and there have been some good things that came out of the show for her. Last year, she won the Favorite Female Artist Award at Kids' Choice Awards 2021. For this, she posted a video.
I'm very appreciative, and Nickelodeon always will hold such a tremendous place in my heart, not only because of Victorious and Sam and Kat and the amazing years I spent working with them, but also just for SpongeBob, you know?
We know! So does this mean Ariana has put behind all those stressful times at Nickelodeon? And would she be down for that much-desired Victorious reboot? Well, we'll have to wait and see. So how excited are you about a Victorious reboot? What do you think the characters should be like almost 10 years later? While you're at it, write us a comment, make sure you like our video, and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.